When it comes to simple principles of success, everyone seems to know a few things. You should follow your passion. You should set clear goals. But are those things right? Does that actually help? Our guest today doesn't think so. We're joined by Scott Adams, cartoonist and author. Hi, Scott.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, so Scott, you have this new book out called How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big. And one of the things you devote some time to here is talking about how crazy it is in life, but I think particularly in setting out into the business world to follow your passion. So what's wrong with that?
Well, the problem with following your passion is your passion might not be very rational. So maybe your passion is collecting stuffed animals. You're probably not going to get rich on that. So my observation has been that people who have a good business plan do pretty well. And then what happens is when things start working, when you start getting lucky, when you start making money, then suddenly you have passion. So my observation is that anybody can get passionate if something's working, but it's pretty hard to get passionate about something beyond the initial stage if it doesn't work.
When you're very passionate about something, when you love a particular sport or a particular kind of product, you lose a little bit of your objectivity in trying to gauge how other people will respond to it.
Yeah, I used to work for a big bank before I was a cartoonist, and I was a commercial lender. And my boss always taught us that the last guy you want to give a loan to is someone who comes in with a passion. And he says, I want to open a sporting goods store because I really like watching sports on television.
Right.
That's not the kind of passion you want to invest in. What you want is the guy who says, I've got a really good business plan for a dry cleaning store. It's going to be really boring, but look at these numbers.
Right.
So that's the guy you want to invest in.
Now, what about goals, though? Now, that seems completely innocent. You should set clear goals for yourself and pursue those goals. What's wrong with that?
Well, goals are okay in their place, but what you need more than goals is a system, a process. So, for example, one of my processes for writing this book was that I blogged every day because it was practice and because I thought that people would read it and they would maybe say, let's reprint this article. It would give me an idea what I could write that would be a full book. So I didn't have a goal of write a book, this specific book by this day. I had a process that I was pretty sure was going to get me there. So likewise, if you're trying to lose weight, I would say it's bad to say I'm going to lose 10 pounds, but it's probably a lot more useful to say I'm going to learn how to eat right and I'm going to be active every day.
Well, so the focus of the book, and this will surprise some people, is failure. You think failure is good. You yourself are proud to say you have failed a lot. So what's the deal? What does failure do for us? What have some of your biggest failures been?
Well, first of all, if you have a choice, success is still better than failure.
Okay.
I want to make that clear.
Okay.
But in the real world, luck is the biggest factor in anybody's success. And if you try one thing and it doesn't work and you stop trying, luck doesn't really have a chance to find you. So what I'm recommending is you try lots of stuff, things that won't kill you, won't bankrupt you, won't leave you debilitated in some way, and just keep trying until something works. So that's the process that I prefer.
And your own biggest failure or biggest failure that you feel like you drew some useful lesson or idea from?
Well, there were many of them, so I'll just list a few. I tried a number of inventions that didn't work out. Either they weren't patentable, or in the case of some computer programs that I tried to develop on my own, I didn't quite have the skill to pull it off. I wrote the programs and they worked, but they weren't quite good enough by the time I finished them. Technology had moved ahead. But every time I did something, I learned a valuable skill. So my programming skill came in handy in my day job at first the bank and then at the phone company. When those two careers failed, as they did, I went into cartooning with a pretty complete knowledge of the technology world and the business world, and that became the fodder for Dilbert. So everything that I did, including all the classes I took during my corporate years, were all designed to give me something that would be a stronger base after I failed at whatever I was doing at the moment.
Very good. Well, Scott Adams, there are lots of useful lessons in the book and in the excerpt from the book in this weekend's Wall Street Journal. For the Wall Street Journal Weekend Review, I'm Gary Rosen.